Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everybody. My name is miahtheking, and I just gotta ask, what's the best thing about Switzerland? I don't know, but the flag is a big plus. Now then, today we're taking a look at a game just released on Steam called Blockbuster Inc., a game where you simulate owning your own studio production company in Hollywood, or their version of Hollywood, and making your own movies. Exciting, right? Right? I agree. Developed by Super Sly Fox and published by Ancient Forge, this is starting to sound like a legendary weapon from Skyrim or World of Warcraft. Forged within the Ancient Forge by the Super Sly Fox. Anyway, released not in early access and selling for $25. So have you ever thought to yourself, wow, Hollywood is really screwing up a lot right now? Yeah, well, so have I. And now you get to fix their problems in your very own movie production company simulator game. That's right, finally. We have finally got a good version of one of these. Would you like to know more? Then stay tuned because, as always, we're going to dive into the good and the bad, followed by my final thoughts. Up first for the positives is the price tag. I can't go into too much detail about why, without spoilers for my own video, but I'll just say this. Considering everything that is included in this game, it's worth its price tag. $25 with this much content and, whatnot. And as I said, I don't want to spoil my own video, but I'll just say that $25 is perfectly perfect as a price tag can get for this game. Next up for the positives, because I can't wait any longer, is the gameplay. There is literally so much to talk about here that I'm probably not going to get to all of it, so I apologize for that. But again, there's so much to do here. Let me just go ahead and answer all your curious questions. Can you hire different staff workers to work all the various types of jobs in this game? Yes. Can you watch your actors act and your director direct? Yes. Can you house and feed and take care of all of their needs? Yes. Can you watch the final product of all your hard work on the big screen? Not on the big screen, but you can watch your hard work and the finished product. Can you edit the movies you create so that they become exactly how you envisioned them? Yes, you can. This game is by far the single most greatest Hollywood movie creator simulator I have ever seen and played. So let's break it down as briefly and easily as I can. You hire all the staff you need, then you place rooms that they need. You also place down different sets, which, by the way, you can create and customize your own sets. Then you go into the movie management screen, which allows you to pick those who are writing the script, who's directing it, which actors are in it, and so on. Then you can place your actors, give them animations in the sets, pick camera angles and camera choices as well as lighting choices. You can add text for those silent movies, and hey, while we're on the topic of silent movies, you can pick which time frame you're making movies in. I think I picked the 1920s. I think that was as early as possible that I could pick, and I did that so I could play the game for as long as possible while discovering everything in order, because as the time frame progresses, more stuff is unlocked as technology is unlocked. Like new genres, new set designs, new equipment, and I could keep going. Anyway, after you've picked the actors' positions and animations and camera angles, it's on to the next scene. Do it again, as many times as you'd like. After the filming is done, it's time to go into editing, where you can cut the film, elongate the film, add sound effects and text, as I mentioned earlier. You can do reshoots to improve the quality of the clips. You can add practical effects. You can run marketing campaigns for your movies. And I'm sure one day you can add even CGI effects, which I'm super excited about. And once you're completely satisfied, you can then release the film, get it reviewed, and then watch it in all its glory. And so, with my fairly pathetic attempt at a masterpiece, I will now show you my, masterpiece. Now I created that whole thing, the sound effects, the camera angles, the actors, what they're doing, all of that. Like, I did all of that manually myself. I created a movie. How freaking cool is that? You must also provide adequate meals for your staff, give them a proper schedule, which they all adhere to, provide them with housing in the city map, you can negotiate salaries with them, you can train them so they get better at either stunts or acting, you can have stuntmen doing dangerous stunts and doctors on standby to help those stuntmen after they get injured doing their dangerous stunts. There's a research screen where you need researchers who will gather RP or research points for you to unlock newer stuff to give you better quality movie designs. It's all incredibly in-depth, and there's no way I could get to all of it here. It's all very well managed and complementary to each other. Due to the gameplay design, it allows you to either play casually or super seriously. Whichever you choose, the game has shortcuts for both, so you'll never feel overwhelmed or like you're missing something. Next up for the positives is the sound quality. As of currently playing, there was no voice acting. I'm hoping once I get out of the silent movie era, there will at least be nonsensical murmuring from my actors, kind of like Sims language. But the sound effects sound exactly like you'd expect or want them to, especially for this type of time frame and genre. And the music is just jovial enough to be interesting, but not overbearing. Most importantly, it ain't annoying. The next positive point I'd like to talk about is the user interface. The UI is actually fairly decent, easy to understand, easy to navigate, and overall very well organized for the user. The controls work exactly like you want them to, with shortcuts, and its overall feeling while playing, which is nice, and the text isn't too large or too small either. With proper colors and sharpness, so it's easy to navigate and differentiate between the different buttons and sliders. So overall, the UI was just very well designed in my opinion. Up next is the stability. My game did have a little bit of an issue starting up at first, but after that first issue, I didn't run into any. No crashing, no freezing, no clipping, no anything. It was really stable despite all the editing to videos I was literally doing inside the game. And I just found no errors or glitches at all, which was really refreshing. And last but not least for the positives is the idea, the development, and the tutorial all merged into one. So the tutorial is almost perfect. It helps you step by step without throwing a lot of information at you, along with little clips showing you exactly what the tutorial wants you to do, so as you read and learn, you're also applying it at the same time, so it helps you to remember it easier. The tutorial did take me about half an hour to get through, which was a little bit annoying, but I walked out of it knowing almost everything I needed to know to start playing the game and not being confused or wondering or having questions. It was actually a pretty decent tutorial, and I highly recommend you play it. The idea is really interesting. I've seen several games release who try to do this and they just never get it right. So it was nice to see another company try to put this idea into motion. And lastly, the development. When you look at everything here and how it melds and how it works together, how everything blends and just makes sense and, well, just works. And honestly, it was just really impressive how they mashed so many different components, so much micromanaging, but in a cohesive way of all these different components of movie creation into video game form, and they did so accurately, entertainingly, and cohesively. But that's all I got to say positively about the game. Now I'll have to go into the negatives, but before that, I'd like to request that you support the growth of my channel. Small YouTubers like me struggle to survive in the harsh world of Markipliers, Angry Joes, and Game Grumps. We hide, we slither, and we scavenge for scraps, hoping to one day grow strong and evolve into a much larger channel. And we need your help to do it. So if you found this video entertaining, or at the very least informative, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thank you. Okay, now on to the negatives, and look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Okay, with this game, it's so bad. Okay, I can't do it. The game is just awesome. I could not think of a single negative. The closest thing I could think of to say negatively is the graphics. While the game does have impressive contrast, lighting, attention to detail, and color design, the models themselves look a little bit off. I know it sounds like I'm still praising the graphics, right? Well, they're not awful. They're actually pretty good considering how much content there is in the gameplay. But, like I said, it's the best negative I could do. A slightly less positive is the best negative I can give this game, really. One more? Okay. Maybe, how about in between movie shoots, it's a little bit boring waiting for stuff to happen. Every night your staff goes home and you're left sitting there staring at an empty lot until people come back in the morning. Too bad there's no speed up button. Oh, wait. Yeah, there is. So even that negative isn't that big of a deal because the night gives you time to look over your stats and plan out your next move and goes by fairly quickly with the speed up button. Again, I can't really find any negatives right now. Granted, the movie making process isn't perfect. It is a little bit unwieldy and stiff in terms of trying to make the movie go exactly the way you want it, but I still think this is probably the closest we'll ever get to a great version of one of these games. So it's very hard for me to find any of those two negatives as a legit negative. So my final thoughts? That's easy. I am loving this game. I think it's a lot of fun and it is far more in-depth than anything I've seen trying this same idea, and far more in-depth than I thought it would be. There is so much to do here. There are so many possibilities, and it is so much freaking fun and cool to watch your idea literally play out in front of your face exactly the way you designed it. And as you progress through the ages, you will unlock more special effects, more different stuff that you can do in the movie, post-production, pre-production, all of it. You can continue to add more, to do more, to have more as you progress. So what you're seeing right now, what I'm doing right now, my masterpiece that I showed you earlier, that was just the tip of the iceberg of what is to come later on in this game. I can easily find myself addicted to this game and playing it for the foreseeable future. And as for my recommendation, that's easy. The game is very well made, it's very interesting, it offers far more than you'd expect, and it's not even asking for an excessive price. So my recommendation is that if you're even a little bit interested in this game, buy it. You will not regret it. This game does not let down our expectations. It gives us exactly what we wanted. It's fun, well designed, and totally worth our time and precious coin. Alright everybody? Alright, so that's all the time I got for this video. Thanks so much for watching, with a special thanks to those of you who stuck around to the end. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you all again on my next adventure. So until then, I bid you all farewell.